What's good with YouTube? You already know. Big Flaco with a convict's perspective. And I'm going to smash, dash, slide on through with a little bit of energy. Coming through, trying to be positive, trying to promote a positive message, and leaving out my terms for now, for the time being, man. As you guys know, it's been an interesting month. Leading up into that month, it was even an interesting, like, last couple months, where I kind of went hard on YouTube a little bit. And it's been interesting, like, the last year, man. And a lot of mistakes, a lot of setbacks, a lot of falters, a lot of severe relationships. Some I created, some others created. At the end of the day, though, we always have that one chance to make it right again. And this is what I'm trying to do. If I'm going to leave, I'm going to leave on my terms. And at the current moment, like I discussed on Tony's from stories written by a current prisoner, I got more important things to deal with than all this YouTube fiasco and, trying to, vindicate myself or whatnot. So let's get to that all off the way. When I first came into this YouTube stuff, it was during the COVID epidemic, and prior to that, I was heavily into recovery, sponsoring men, having H&I commitments, doing volunteer work, going to church weekly. Didn't really have a social life, man. I was a full-time parent. I took on a lot of responsibilities that a lot of men, wouldn't always take. Now, there's some good men that do, but I was willing to put my own personal interests to the side and no longer focus on my own personal ego or what others thought of me or trying to live up to something that I wanted you to see in me. And COVID kind of changed that. I quit going to meetings, and it became too political in the rooms, as well as it became too. I just couldn't relate to a lot of people, and YouTube was the outlet for me to help people out. I felt, and so I came in with a positive vibe, and it became something different along the lines. People were more focused on what that check was on the 21st, as opposed to pushing out quality content that could maybe help someone. It became more about getting that breaking exclusive, doing a live where we're getting 3 to 500, finding all kinds of ways to make decent money, because there was some good money at the time. But with that comes a what? It becomes a tax. It becomes people who are competitive, fighting for super chats or views, and and you start to take a step back and you see things, and when you have the credentials of where you say you were, what you did, and what you was about, a lot of times people can't question that. But sometimes people want to hold certain things in someone's past as far as that's the whole stain upon them as who they are as a man. People don't believe that people can live to fight another day and change their ways. And that's the unfortunate thing, that people have their blindfolds on and they're more worried about finding ways to bring you down so can uplift them. And you see it all the time, right? And there's a time when that happened with me. You know, this isn't about the pending case, about what happened. I'm not going to discuss that, man. I'm still going to be going to court and, fighting for the truth to come out and to be vindicated. That's all I'll say on that. My prayers to anybody who's, been hurt in any type of, incidents, whether they created it themselves or others did. And this is throughout the nation. I don't wish really harm upon anyone. Unless you bring it to my doorstep, I will defend myself at all costs. And that's the unfortunate thing that you're starting to see with YouTube, is that people don't value life. People putting people's addresses out there and all kinds of stuff, man. And it got crazy, and I crossed that threshold to where I didn't really see the bigger picture of what was going on or a means to fix it. I don't see anybody on this YouTube push, the genre, the West Coast, there are such channels that are pushing a message about unity, about respect, about treating your gente right, about no longer becoming competitive and trying to find ways to discourage people, cause dissension. All those things have been going on for years. Anybody that's been part of any type of political spectrum in prison knows exactly what I'm talking about. And the YouTube yard became basically a prison clicas, and everybody feeling they're this and that, and some think that they had more value, and their choices, and some people created lies, and some people lied upon others, and that's the truth of it. And the message got lost somewhere. you know some channels came out just for the fun, to enjoy their self, the interactions, the lives, and have a good time. But then other people created lies in their stories and found ways to attack other people, and you know all kinds of faulty stuff, man. If every YouTube content creator was a, how you say, unbiased, and had the backbone to put out everything, then a lot of stuff would really clear the air. Now, after the issues with Gunner and me putting everything out there, then a lot of people came to light with all his shortcomings, his misdeeds and stuff, and I kind of was feeling like, why wasn't that out there this whole time? You see people do a complete 180 on him, and that's the unfortunate thing, that you have to pick and choose your battles, and when you're ready, you capitalize off it. But where was that energy before with a lot of people? It wasn't there. Now, I'm not here to bash any of these channels or anybody on here. It's just that you guys got to really take a step back and, have some type of humanity as far as how you view your next man, your child, the next man's child, their families, and thinking of ways of how you may affect them. People are so selfish that they want to be looked at in a certain light, but they don't want to put out there the truth of who they are at times. There's been a lot of dudes I've been through my whole life that I've met that talk about being this and being that, and very few, like I say, do not embellish their stories, don't lie, twist their stories and whatnot. So genuine individuals are hard to come by, and that's the unfortunate thing, that I think people are starting to realize, that there's not a lot of genuine individuals who are trying to really make that change. You can sit there and say you want to help other people, but at the end of the day, everybody only wants to help themselves, man. Shouts out to these channels, man. Paradigm Media, News Boxer, probably one of the more realer individuals that I know, that I can vouch for a lot of the shit he talks about. Shouts out to Big Lou, another one that keeps it raw and real and doesn't try to sugarcoat it. Shouts out to the homie Hangout. Even though we've had our indifferences, and we agree on things and we disagree, we've known each other a long time. It's just unfortunate how some things played out. But when he's on his A game and isn't focused about, the facade around him and the YouTube, drama and all that, and just focuses on what he puts out. He puts out some of the better content, I feel. Shouts out to fucking L, from a Prisoner's Awakening, who didn't bat an eye, didn't back down from those that, try to categorize him as one. Listo, and even EBK, he changed a little bit from the beginning, and grew into his own. But a lot of stuff has happened, man. And which makes me take a step back and look at it. What good have I been doing the last year and a half? Yeah, there's stories that you guys don't know about, of me being genuine and helping people, whether it be financially, whether it be, moral support, whether it be through resources, whether it be just taking a conversation, when someone's child is going through an addiction issue, or their child just got shot, or, things are hard. There's a lot of things that I still was doing behind the scenes, even when I couldn't help myself. It's just unfortunate that there's a lot of people out there that are ready for your fall. They take the pleasure in it. Even my video I did yesterday, when I talked about I went GP, wasn't trying to act bad. That's how it is in Arizona everywhere nowadays. You know, you have to be some high profile, whatever, to be put away. And I'm not going to sit there and speak on anything about this. Is just who I am. You know, they don't have any SMIs or anything. They integrated all those yards now. It's a shitstorm from what I've been told. You know, but yeah, I wasn't in the GP in the county jail. You know what I'm saying? And because I'm just not one of those ones that was going to request anything because my ego was still in the way. You know, so let's get that out there. You know, and that's not to sit there and say one area is harder or whatnot. If I would have been in California, they would have knew my jacket. They would have put me in the fucking hole like they always do. I never request nothing, but they put me in the hole. It is what it is. If they would have did that in AZ, hey, it is what it is. Anybody that knows me knows how I am. And I've never been one to duck or dodge whatever's going to happen. So, you know, I guess 5 Star Media put that out there. I've seen a couple other shows. He wasn't lying. I was on the GP side. You know what I'm saying? Do I need to advertise myself? No. Did I rock on my own? Hell yeah, I rocked on my own. But that doesn't make me no fucking bad dude or anything. It means I'm just a man who just stands on his own 2 feet and doesn't let nobody dictate or tell him what he can do or where he got to go. If I got to go, then it is what it is, right? But anyways, instead of having a little pissing contest and trying to justify it, let's get off that, because that's really, at the end of the day, is not important. It's about trying to sit there and, you know, where my position is on a lot of things. And it's became a fucking genre about beefs and, you know, putting people down. And, you know, that's based upon one individual, you know, and you know, it all came back to bite them. You know, when I went full throttle, a lot of other people did too. You know, and like I said before, where was that energy before with a lot of people who knew the stuff that was going on? A lot of people were on mute, not saying anything. But I get it. You know, no one likes the drama. If you can avoid it and let someone else be part of it, it works out in an advantage point to where it could be some that you can capitalize off later. I just thought it was kind of interesting though, man. Some of the videos I heard and things that people discussed, and you know, even Runner's video where he said that I told him that I was going to Vegas to get married. I never told him until afterwards, and I never told him nothing at the fight. So that kind of shocked me that he would even say that. And that's not to sit there and, you know, continue to knock that man down. It's just, you know, a lot of things he said that we used to discuss, we were cool. I'm not going to sit there and deny that, but it all changed when he was more worried about the image of being associated, you know, with me. You know, that's what it came down to. You know, and so people tried to sit there and, I don't know if it was, I'm not even going to go in there. Who cares? You know, he got his own issues. He's been pretty much fucking revealed for a lot of things, man. And I watched Dub's video. Dubs was pretty cool. We keep each other's mouths. We keep each other's names out of each other's mouths, if that makes any sense. But, you know, there comes a time when everybody needs to sit there and man up. Talk about the real from the past. Who was doing what? Who was saying what? You know, that's the only challenge that I pose to anybody, because I know shit that certain channels have told me that this person did this or said that, but people don't want the drama. Well, don't bring it to nobody's table, and don't hold nobody fucking in court over it. That's just how it is, man. You know, for me, I don't know what I'm gonna do. You know, I felt that I had a voice that could have been, you know, very beneficial to helping others, but like everybody else, you know, once it became more about the views and money, everything got cloudy, and everybody's integrity as far as trying to do the right things was just words instead of actions. You know, and I'm mad enough to fucking admit that. Now, I never sat there and resorted to faulty shit or anything like that, but I can honestly say that a lot of my actions were based upon ego, pride, and you know, there's nothing worse than when you know who, what, where, when, why, but they're trying to hide everything, and you got all the facts in front of you, and people are still trying to do the things that they do to try to affect your life. And that's the unfortunate thing that occurs, and people will turn a blind eye to that. You know, what I learned from YouTube is the one who gets ahead of any type of story or puts any type of info on someone is always the one that's going to usually come out on top. Therefore, if you just remain idle and think, oh, I'm gonna weather the storm. Whoever's trying to smut me up or do this and that, I'll be okay. It doesn't work that way on YouTube. Image is everything. Therefore, people can create the image that they want you to see. You know, there's a lot of stuff people talked about. I was over here, I was doing this, I was doing that. And it's just funny, man. Like, I mean, to be honest with you, a lot of these dudes were, you know, saying things that they thought that they heard or were told. That would basically to me would be fucking what do you call it? If I was actually doing some of these things, what do you call that? You're basically fucking telling on someone, right? Saying I was selling dope or I was doing this, I was doing that. Come on, man. Everybody gonna sit there and say that they're 10 toes down or they're righteous or they're solid. They didn't do this and that. You're basically fucking telling on fucking. If it's true, whether it's true or not, it's still dry snitching because certain stuff can get out there. You're leaving potential avenues to be attacked. Well, this is what this person assumed happened. You know what I mean? So think about what you say because I seen a lot of stuff that wasn't true. You know what I mean? And the ones that really did their due diligence and without judgment, respects, man. I get it. I used to do the same thing. You get a good story, let's fucking run it. But you never ever think that, sometimes that story may be out of pocket or out of line or, cross certain boundaries that people don't need. There was certain stuff that I put out deliberately on Patreon to see that if it got out there, and it did. There was two things I deliberately put on Patreon to see who would try to drop it, so I already know who, what, where, when, why. You know what I'm saying? And that's my own actions, and that's why it's necessary for me to step on back, do some spiritual cleaning, and see what I want to do with myself. As opposed to come on here trying to regain traction and doing videos, and it ain't even worth it, man. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes this is all people have ever had is a YouTube channel they created, and they can create the character that they want or be perceived as. But like anything, remember, 95% of these people are just actors, man. Look for the truth behind the actions. Not what they did yesterday or did 20 years from now, but what they're doing today. And if we are you can't be, that's funny, I just seen some of the videos, this is what's going to happen here and this and that, and I'm like, man, come on, what are you doing on YouTube thinking on this shit? None of these cats really fucking active or ever with it, man. That's just fucking the truth, man. And that goes with a lot of people, but I don't wish anybody any, what I'm saying, spiral down fucking setback or to be shamed or to be put down, because it's just not a good thing. That's not what good people do. That's not what real ones do. Real ones keep their own fucking side of the street clean. And if they make mistakes, they acknowledge it. Keep it fucking transparent. And accept whatever criticism they get for saying what they say. There's a lot of things I could be sat there and attacked all the time because I made a lot of bad choices that I thought were right at the time. I made a lot of emotional choices as well. I don't deny that. Therefore, that's why it's important for me to take this step back at this time and focus on what I need to do. Get back to the man I used to be, the things that you guys maybe don't remember or don't know that I did as a man. I let a lot of people down that meant something to me. And I remember having a conversation with Savage Studios, before he passed away, when I went to go see him. He said, it's like a door. Because when I got out, I walked through a door, the notoriety, the popularity, then came the wife, then came the baby, then came the dog. Then that same door that they walked through, they walked right back out. And I didn't realize what he was saying, but I realized it later. Ego is a motherfucker, and we all got one. I got one. I got a huge ego. You know what I'm saying? Because I get so misread or misjudged by so much stuff. You know what I mean? And 99% of the people that even, have those negative comments really got no business to really say nothing, man. But that's just their prerogative. They can do what they want to do. Ain't no man controlling no other man. Ain't nobody got here, and not everybody's going to make the right choice, including myself and others. Therefore, you know what I'm saying? Does that mean that people have to be looked at in one view? Because I guarantee you, about 90% of these people got shit that stains their whole background, man. That's gonna make them look worse than a whole lot of things that they say about us, man. And that's keeping it 100. Dudes that ran from battle or cowered it out or just fucking covered up or you know what I'm saying or did some smirky shit. I mean, that's all kinds of stuff, man. We know part of how the game is, man. Real ones ain't gonna speak. They're gonna be in the cuts doing what they do. You know what I'm saying? And if you've ever been around real ones, then you know how they operate. It's just sometimes things happen in life that we don't expect, and that's the thing that we have going on this YouTube genre stuff. Is there's a personal struggle that people are having, man. You know, we can't be a gangster trying to be positive at the same time. It just doesn't work. You know, you could be associated with people who are from that lifestyle and have a past in it. But if you really want to be a true reflection of a leader who is really trying to be a pioneer and bringing positive change, then you got to leave all that to the past and put that ego to the side and not be afraid of whose ego you may shatter by being real and put out the truth. You know what I'm saying? That's why a lot of these, advocates for, the betterment of the lifestyle and unity and all that are never successful because there's always comes something that's attached to it, whether it's the past lifestyle or the code of the streets. If you're about change, then you have to create that change. You can't live by a code that hasn't been working for most people for years or is creating more dissension and conflict out there in our communities than it has done good. And that's just keeping it raw and real. Like I said, shouts out to all these channels, even the ones I don't really care for. You know what I'm saying? Check your moral compass, though, man, because a lot of people have their own skeletons, or there's a lot of fuckery and fakeness that comes with this because people feel that image is more important than what the truth is. I got my own things that I got to deal with, and I'm gonna do what I got to do. I'm gonna be stepping away, like I said, for YouTube. I don't know if I'm ever gonna come back or not. Right now, it's not in my plans. I want to do something else that's gonna maybe help the community, that I don't have to deal with the bullshit, the drama, and I could be true to myself and those that mean the world to me. And those that want the help, that want the guidance. Not those that are going to sit there and turn a blind eye because they think it's going to benefit them, or not those that hold things too personal and are not forgiving because it happens to them, or just not those that are fake, man. I ain't with all that fake shit, man. I never have been. I've always been one to be raw and real, and even me being raw and real, I hold back a lot. But sometimes it's better just to focus only on your side of the street of what you're doing today. You can't change what you did 5 years, 20 years ago, 6 months ago, but you can change what you do tomorrow. And a lot of people lost foresight of what the goal was supposed to be in helping people uplift, inspire, teaching them that life has nothing positive comes from it. And sometimes it can consume you because you're living up to a past image of what you did and you're forgetting the message behind it. Positivity comes through actions, not words. Go out there and make a difference. Help someone. Do it without having the need to be patted on the back. Look at what I'm doing. Just go out there and get active and do it. Don't sit there and talk about it. And leaders come when certain things need to be done that maybe people are not supportive of, and people decide to make that change. Don't be a follower. Do what you feel is right. Step out of your element and be that positive push that you can be in helping others. Like I said, don't ever forget where you come from, but don't become that mistake. I've done a lot of things in my life, man, that I'm not proud of, man. And I've always been able to bounce back, and it's not so much the charges that I got charged for that I'm worried about. It's the loved ones and relationships that I hurt along the ways in the last year and a half. Those are the things that I regret, because life's going to keep on moving, whether I'm on YouTube or I'm not, or if anybody else is. No one's going to stop just for us, right? No one really cares at the end of the day, but you got to make, like I said, doing what everybody else is doing is not going to get anybody to be looked at different. Doing something different and showing people a different way that could possibly work is where leaders come through and where they shine. So for everybody out there doing their thing, man, don't talk a good one. Be about it by that action, man. And I'm not talking about fucking being a gangster. I'm talking about being a good Samaritan, being someone who's trying to help kids, being someone who ain't trying to straddle the fence because you're worried about what your image says. You can't sit there and fucking serve two masters. These are the things that I think about, and I've been reflecting since I came in this YouTube stuff. So I feel it was important for me to sit there and kind of address to everybody, man. And I used to love when it was positive and you get encouragement and you get the support. But there's nothing worse than when you know that you're trying to do the right thing and people are fooled by those who are beliars or who have renegade motives or degenerate bandito type motives, man. A lot of dudes that acted like they were solid, changed up. You know what I mean? Like it was nothing, fake as fuck, even recently. But that is part of life, right? Hold those that mean something to you close, man. Your family members. Never put anything else before that as far as your ego. And surround yourself with those that have just as much to lose as you. Because that's the only time you could be almost guaranteed to be given the same respect to your own personal safety and growth. Because ones that have the same things to lose as you know what needs to be done and aren't going to involve themselves in anything that's going to affect them unless they just don't give a fuck. That's it, it's your boy Flaco. That's my step back video for a while, man. I'm not going to talk about the case. I bailed out. People are saying, well, how'd you bail out so low? That's how the bail is out there in AZ, man. Look into it. It's a little bit different. The income is not California income, guys. California has a different economy. You know what I'm saying? Therefore, it's AZ. With that said, though, man, don't always believe everything else that you hear. You know what I'm saying? Protect your loved ones. Protect yourself, man. And don't put anybody else's life in jeopardy and harm's way or do things that could potentially affect them, because you know what? It ain't no fun when the rabbit has a gun, is it? And there's a few channels out there that learned that real quick. It's just funny how just some people just came out the woodwork as soon as they knew I was locked up and wanted to have a voice or opinion, man. It is what it is, man. I ain't gonna harbor no animosity or hate towards anybody, man. Like I said, I gotta change some things in me. And at least I can take accountability and admit that for a while I haven't been on the right path as far as in what I need to do in helping other people on a full-time basis. We'll see what happens though. But I got a lot of things I'll be dealing with, so much respect, support to everybody out there who's trying. Don't give up, keep it pushing, and stay away from them fakes, the ones that are with that fuckery and that bullshit, and who want to live off the sweat of other people's sacrifices and what they've done. With that said, your boy Flaco, I'm gone.